Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello. Gary here for Bizarre Brain Comics. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, kind of tell you a little bit about the creators and the characters, and kind of break down the stories and the art. And today, we're going to take a look at this book right here. That's a classic cover. This is from Strange Adventures, number 242 from 1973, reprinting a story from Mysteries in Space, and from I think it was Mysteries in Space 72, if I remember correctly, from 1963, featuring the character, the space hero Adam Strange. So let's take a look in the big book of knowledge. Gotta have it the right way. Okay. Strange Adventures number 242, 1973, which is a reprint from 1963. And the title of this story is World War on Earth and Ran, but written by Gardner Fox and drawn by Carmine Infantino, with inks by Murphy Anderson. Adam Strange is a DC science fiction / superhero character from DC Comics, created by editor Julius Schwartz and artist Murphy Anderson. He designed the character. And made his first appearance in Showcase number 17 in 1958. And Adam Strange he's an archaeologist who is suddenly transported from his dig in Peru to the planet Ran via Zeta Beam, which is an experimental teleportation technology created by Iranian scientist. And he is befriended by that scientist Zardath and his daughter Alana. While there, he becomes a hero protecting the planet Ran from a variety of spacey and scientific menaces. When the Zeta Beam wears off, he is transported back to Earth. Then he calculates when and where the Zeta Beam will strike next, and he intercepts it to return to Ran again to see his love, Alana. Since Schwartz had been a science major, he worked closely with writer Gardner Fox on plots to give greater scientific plausibility to the stories. And even that is kind of pretty loose scientific plausibility, but there's some. And of course, you're talking 60 years ago, so the science then was completely different than the science today. After a 3-issue tryout in Showcase, he was moved to a regular slot in Mysteries in Space, and he even crossed over with the Justice League of America. After new Adam Strange stories were discontinued, his stories were reprinted in the pages of Strange Adventures, and he made occasional appearances in the DC Universe and returned as a backup feature in Green Lantern 1980. Since then, he has had occasional limited run titles and appearances in other titles. He has even appeared in live action as a character on the show Krypton on the Sci-Fi Channel. And that's cool. I'd like to see more of live action Adam Strange. I think it could make an interesting movie. But we'll see. Okay. Let us take a little trip to the planet Ran with Adam Strange. And here we have, you can see, get a better view of that classic cover. And this is the same cover that was used on Mysteries in Space when it was, or same illustration, when it was originally presented in '63. This is drawn by Carmine Infantino with inks by Murphy Anderson. Now, Murphy Anderson, I'll want to talk more about Murphy Anderson another time, but I just love his work, and I feel his inks on Carmine Infantino's pencils really does a lot for them. Of course, his inks on just about anybody's pencils does a lot for it. I think he kind of softens and beautifies Infantino's work. In the 60s and early 70s, Carmine Infantino was, and into the late 50s, he was a major artist for DC. He is the one who was drawing, if I remember correctly, he was the one who was drawing Flash when they reintroduced Flash, which was by most accounts the beginning of the Silver Age, at least for DC. And here we have, from one of the later incarnations of Adam Strange. And DC Comics presents Mystery in Space have this beautiful recreation of this classic cover. And this is, I believe, it doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure this is Alex Ross. There are a couple other artists who do painted covers who are very similar to Alex Ross's work, and once in a while I do get them confused. But I really think this is Alex Ross. It just screams it to me. And it's a beautiful rendition of it. And while I don't have the original Mysteries in Space that featured this story, Adam Strange story, here is Mystery in Space, which features two of the space hero characters that were created at the same time. This is the Space Ranger and Adam Strange. But this is Adam Strange from the future, a descendant of this Adam Strange, because Space Ranger takes place in the future. And then here is a trade paperback. That was a beautifully corny cover by, what's his name, McCoy? I forgot his first name. And this reprints some very classic science fiction stories from Mysteries in Space, including an Adam Strange story. And it's a lot of fun reading. A lot of fun reading in those. But this is what I wanted to show you and talk to you about. And I was mentioning Murphy Anderson. I will tell you just a little bit. See, he designed this, did the design for Adam Strange, and I have to wonder if he based this image, the look of Adam Strange, at all on some Buck Rogers. Of course, Adam Strange is basically the DC version of Flash Gordon / Buck Rogers. And I also wonder, because Murphy Anderson is known for primarily doing science fiction, and for several years in the early 50s, late 40s, early 50s, Murphy Anderson drew the Buck Rogers comic strip. And And his Buck Rogers looked an awful lot like this Adam Strange. And then I also have to wonder if the look of Adam Strange was at all influential in the creation of the Rocketeer, kind of like a combination of Commando Cody and Adam Strange. There's, of course, the suit, the rocket pack, and the fin on his helmet. You know, it just looks so much like a prototype of the Rocketeer. Okay, and this story is World War on Earth and Ran. Let's take a little look inside. Adam Strange, of course, the splash page, giving you a little hint. Here, credits. Story, Gardner Fox. Art, Carmine Infantino, Murphy Henderson. Some lovely stuff. And, of course, our story begins just as Adam appears on the planet Ran, being met by Alana. And, of course, the rocket packs are common mode of transportation here on this planet. They have science that is superior to Earth in the 20th century in most things. And then they head to the capital city of Ranagar, where Alana lives, and her father, Zardath. But surprisingly, there's some picketers picketing. The Earthmen go home. And they're picketing because it seems they're blaming Adam Strange for all the menaces that he winds up having to fight, because it's like every time he shows up, there's a new menace, which I think is funny. But here they're spending several days together. It's all quiet, and Adam Strange is just wondering when the next shoe's going to drop, because they're right. There is a kind of a correlation. Of course, correlation is not the same as causation, but kind of a correlation to his showing up and some new menace appearing as well. And here we have a standard type of, see on both these pages, Carmine Infantino page layout. He frequently has these long, slim panels like this, so you can get a lot of the image of what's going on here. And here's somebody thinking, I could be the year's outstanding scientist, but my invention is so marvelous. Why should I donate it to Ran? I'll keep it and make myself ruler of Ran. The entire planet will be my prize. Yeah. Like that's ever going to happen. So here they are, just having a good old time, vacation on Ran. Nothing's happening until they're dining in ice caves. When suddenly, bloop, oh, there's water dripping from this roof right into Adam's soup. And so he flies out because he knows that's not right. And here's something that's giant magnifying glass flying through the sky. Having the sun's beams. Now, Ran is a planet around Alpha Centauri. And so the sun's rays shining through it and is menacing. And it's being attacked by, of course, Adam and Alana. And the government sends missiles, but they're totally ineffectual on this gizmo. And wherever it goes, it beams down. Beams down destruction all over, and the guy is, and right in the middle of this battle, the Zeta beam wears off, and Adam has to return to Earth. So here he is. He's just waiting for the next Zeta beam for him to go back to Ran to see what's happened and to fight that menace. When here a sudden menace assaults Earth. It's some guy who has had some time travel and got a bunch of weapons and weapon systems from the future, and is menacing the Earth. And just so happens that the Justice League is away in space on a mission. So this guy demonstrates, has this island rigged up to look like a real city, and then utterly destroys it. Boom! That's terrible. So Adam said, well, with Justice League unavailable, oh, it's up to me. I'll try what I can do. And he follows the ships and goes, because he has some technology in Iranian technology, which helps him locate where this guy his headquarters is. But then he's being attacked by these spaceships. Some really nice, it's really nice flying scenes where he's zipping and zigging and zagging all around, using his ray gun, which has no effect on these future ships. It's really nice figure work and really nice Carmine Infantino. It's really nice visual storytelling, and this is just beautiful. And it's really, I think, Murphy Anderson's inks really does a lot to beautify Infantino's pencils. They also worked together on some Batman, of course, and he did the Flash. Infantino did the Flash, and with various inkers, and Batman had various inkers as well. But he did do some on the. They did work together some on Batman, but he's probably best known for his work with Kurt Swan on Superman, and together they are the best team to make my favorite artwork for Superman was Kurt Swan and Murphy Anderson. So here he's helpless against these attacks, so he hurries to make the intercept the Zeta beam. There he is, transported back to Ran. There's Alana to greet him, and finding out that almost all the major cities have surrendered. The thing flies from city to city, causing destruction if they refuse to surrender until they do surrender. And most of them have just surrendered as soon as it appears. And so Adam Strange comes up with this idea. Oh, here he's got this. Well, got this gizmo, and this gadget will search out the source of the power he uses to control it, thus leading us to him. But because it was an invention described earlier on, and then the thing zaps the gizmo that Adam Strange had, so they can. This guy has the ability can hear them. The detector is destroyed, so he's got an idea. I don't remember how he come up with this idea that while Ranagar is surrendering, he said, I want to know everything about that lens, where it came from, where it goes, when it leaves one city and appears over another, all the data you have. So going through that data, it seems to be following the mail service. So he's got an idea. And so the thing is taking off to the next city, and they follow it. And because it's in the post, basically the post office at the delivery room, and there was something that was being sent. I've forgotten what it was now. Intercept the guy, and he was the guy who was behind it all, and it had the thing following this gizmo. There was the control unit for that lens, and so now they got it away from him. So he is no longer a menace. He's incarcerated, but they've still got the lens. What to do with it? So Adam stands there waiting for the Zeta beam to wear off, hanging on to this lens and the control unit, because if he's hanging on to something when the Zeta beam wears off, it's transported back to Earth with him. So here he brings transports that lens with him, and uses the control unit, and is controlling it to go against the menace on Earth. And it is impervious to the beams, to the rays of the futuristic weapons, and he uses it. Well, it's kind of run out of juice. It's whatever I've forgotten. And here he is. So he uses it kamikaze style right into the hideout of that menacing scientist. It crashes, destroys the all the gizmos. It captures the fellow, unless he's dead, and then the Zeta beam wears off, and it goes back to Ran. So he used one menace to defeat another menace. It's Spotlight 1 on Strange Adventures, and it's had other reprints of other science fiction stories for Mysteries in Space by various creators. And so I think that does it. I really always liked the character Adam Strange. He's still a lot of fun, and he's been updated. The more recent stuff I've seen of him, he's got more of a spacey looking suit instead of this 60s looking suit. Even though in this one, which was a similar type plot storyline, and the art is different, but he's still here to represent the original cover. But you can see he's got that same costume. It's just not, or same suit or uniform. It's just not the superhero type, not as quite as form fitting, and it looks a little bit more spacey. But he's got more one space suit now that looks like a space suit. And okay, so that's all I've got for Adam Strange. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've never heard of the character, if you're a science fiction fan, if you're unfamiliar with the character, go pick some stuff up. I'm sure you can find some stuff, early stuff somewhere. Now this copy here is one that I bought almost 50 years ago at the drugstore when I was a kid, and it still has my fingerprints on it, because the ink was coming off on my fingers when it was brand new. Of course, it doesn't do that anymore, but so I hope you enjoyed it. Check out Adam Strange and other DC science fiction stories and Mysteries in Space. And remember, comics are art.